Dr. Craig Manning here with The Fearless Mind. Today I want to talk about the Y generation. The Y generation doesn't just come after X. The Y generation wants to know exactly that. Why are we doing this? In today's day and age, it is the cheapest time ever for a human being to sustain themselves. And what we're finding is, actually research shows that more than 30% of our population lives at home into their 30s. When it's not motivating, when it's not appealing to this generation, they will just go home and live at home rather than work. How does that affect us in athletics? What happens a lot with this generation is we're seeing a lot of discouragement and doubt. And that's what prevents them from really being there while they're at work or while they're training and practicing. We need to not only physically be at practice, mentally we need to be present. And so I just wanted to show a couple of things. Fear comes from the future, guilt comes from the past, doubt comes from the future. This is because this Y generation, or all of us for that matter, we're thinking too much out here. We're staying out here too much. The more we stay out here, fear and anxiety occupy our mind, and that's where a lot of the doubt and the fear creeps in. We want to prepare for the future, but then we got to bring it back to the moment. Talked about that many, many times. Discouragement comes from the past. When we get discouraged, we're spending too much time dwelling on our errors. This is why the Y generation, they get benched, or they don't perform exactly perfect, and you see them drop their heads. You see them even pout and sulk at times. That's the discouragement. Getting madder at them is only pulling their mind back to the past. We got to pull their mind back to the present. And we can be firm about that, but get them back focusing on what are you going to do now? Doing happens here in the present. So when they get discouraged, this action is going to drop off. Their attention to detail is going to drop off. So when they get discouraged, get them back focusing on what they need to do now. When they're worrying about the future and they're hesitating and their mind's racing 100 miles an hour, we got to get them back to relaxing and being one with their body. This is where action takes place. And when they spend too much time in the past, too much time in the future, we're just perpetuating this discouragement or doubt. Again, discouragement comes from the past, so that's when if we're beating up on them, we're only making that worse, and that's why they're disengaging. When we focus too much into the future, there's doubt again, that's creating that anxiety. We got to keep them in the present and get them focusing on what they need to do right now. That's how we can alleviate this discouragement and doubt. That's what we can do to help this Y generation to really engage and stay focused. Have a great day.